You're listening to iCannabisRadio.com.
Hi, welcome. You're listening to iCannabis Radio, and I'm Georgia, and it's Monday night. You know it's Monday night because I'm here, and if it's not Monday night,
you won't be here.
I'm not here, exactly. I'm in the studio with my friend Jonanoymous because it's Glass Monday.
It sure is.
Yeah. Welcome, John, from Mad Hatter Smoke Shop. 2 locations.
One's at 6091 West Colfax in Lakewood. The other is next to MMD in the beautiful Rhino District of downtown Denver, 2615 Walnut Street.
Welcome. How are you?
I'm well.
Good. We also have Sam and Chris in the studio. What's up, guys? Who out-mic'd? Talk really loudly.
How's it going?
They're doing well. So we have lots of things to talk about, including some glass pieces that you brought, but we're going to start the evening with a couple of news items. Not a couple. We've got a lot of news items.
Good.
So when you and I were talking earlier this afternoon, we talked about the fact that you were going to rail on Oklahoma. So your opportunity is about to come before us. We've talked a whole bunch of times about Patricia Spotted Crow, who was arrested for selling what they keep calling a dime bag for $31. That's not a dime bag.
Dime bag is traditionally $10.
Hence, dime.
Yeah.
But you know
sometimes the obvious is not obvious.
You know, I think that people, even when they're sending someone to prison, like to be clever or think that they're being clever, and by calling it a dime bag, or the reporters think that they're knowledgeable. I don't know. Anyway, she was sentenced to 12 years. Count them with me. Not 1, not 12 months, not 12 weeks, not 12 hours, not 12 days. 12 years for selling approximately $31 of marijuana. And the reason why she got such a intense sentence was because she had her children in the home when she was arrested, and so she got an enhanced charge because of
child endangerment.
Yeah, it's having a dangerous substance in the presence of a child. Not sure what that dangerous substance was, but I guess in Oklahoma they consider a harmless plant that can be grown easier than a daisy or sunflower to be dangerous. Yeah. Now, I don't know if she also had prescription meds in her house. Maybe that was what they considered this dangerous substance. But anyhow, having said that, she was released on parole this week, and she was told that she was probably going to be released in the middle of the month, and so it came as a big surprise for her when she was told that she had 20 minutes to pack her stuff and get out the door. So she is free to walk about the world right now, provided that she follows all of her required parole requirements. So, yay. She only spent just under 2 years. I mean, isn't that insane?
Well, look at how much is the average incarceration on the taxpayer?
How expensive is it?
Exactly. It's like in the $40,000 range.
It's very expensive, yeah.
So we spent $80,000, plus probably had to subsidize care for the children that we have left orphaned due to this. And, you know, the penalty and the cost to everyone socially is huge. And for what? It was $31.
A dime bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, you know, she's so happy that you should see there's pictures of her on the internet with her friends and family. She's so happy, of course, to be released from prison.
I bet you she's going to try to get her parole moved to Colorado.
Right. Bless her heart. Bless her heart. It's.
Yeah, and now she's a permanent fixture in the judicial cycle.
Well, and her kids were little. Her youngest is now 3, so she had an itty bitty one.
She was like in her 40s though, right?
I don't know that I have her age right in front of me.
Yeah.
Why is that terrible for her to be in her 40s?
No, I didn't think she was exactly like a spring chicken.
Well, no, she's not.
Like she's not. She wasn't. Yeah, she's. You know.
She's not.
She's
20.
been around.
She's not 20.
She is not a naive enough to know. You know, she knew what she was getting herself into. You're in eastern Oklahoma. It's sketchy. It's been sketchy since sketchy was invented.
Right?
Since 1971.
Since
Stay
sketchy
the
was
hell out of
born.
eastern Oklahoma.
Well, unfortunately, we have some wireless internet issues, or I would be looking up her age. But it's just kind of silly. Here's the other thing that's interesting, and this is one of the situations when I wish that Warren was here so that we could ask him. But she was given what was called a blind plea deal. So she didn't know what she was getting herself into when she pled.
Yeah.
How on earth any attorney could say that that's a good idea to ever say yes to something when you don't know what that something is? I mean, I always thought that defense attorneys said, shut your mouth, don't say anything, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet.
Well, except for the ones that come with plea deals.
Oh my gosh.
It's Oklahoma. They'll give you 99 years for a second possession of hash, right?
Well, and
something like
hash
that, or a
is
life sentence.
Hash is a whole nother issue. I mean, in lots of places, hash is it's a felony no matter what amount you have of hash.
There's, and as popular as the concentrates have become in the last several years, I mean, everywhere it's chic nouveau to carry around your hash oil if you're in another state and show it off to your friends who've never seen it before. And then you get in trouble for like less than a gram of something, and it's a day or two supply, and you might go to jail and have thousands of dollars in lawyer costs. I mean, there's lots of people going through that right now.
Yeah, loss of your freedom.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I know. It's oof.
Actually, I was talking to a buddy of mine earlier, and he is in the great state of Texas.
Is Texas a great state?
No.
No, I didn't think so either.
There's great people in parts of it.
It's great people in Oklahoma too.
Yeah, there sure are. There's some really cool people with various talents there.
Talents.
But in the grand scheme of things, he's about to get off of 2 years of like this max shock probation where he has to go take retinal scans. Now they take retinal scans.
How much does that cost, and what does that do?
If your eyes are droopy or don't look normal, it suggests that you go take a piss test. It's actually cheaper than running a UA.
Really?
Yeah, so you go.
What about if you're just I take my contacts out because my eyes are droopy and red?
So I was talking to my buddy today, and he was speeding on the highway to get from work to this office to have this done before they closed. It's like
talking on the phone apparently. And
there you go.
Good,
I mean, but yet. For something, he got caught with 3/8 of hash, like 3 years ago, because he turned down the wrong way on a one-way street and got pulled over, and then it spiraled into that.
I mean, and that's the thing that more often than not kind of gets people in trouble.
It's Fourth Amendment, Once you are stopped, it gives them the rights of suspicion. If you have any kind of adverse actions or if you look shifty, they're going to
I smell something.
In plain smell.
Yeah, you have long hair.
In plain smell has been used a whole lot over history.
Well, yeah, you had 10.5 grams of I can smell that hash. Absolutely.
Yeah, and this guy didn't have long hair. He had short hair.
But he smelled funny.
Yeah,
he
exactly.
Smelled funny.
There was no way to disguise the smell, so.
Well, I'm hoping so much that we are starting to see that change. I mean, with how many counties in Colorado alone that have either dismissed or saying that they're not going to arrest any more people for minor possession, that's fantastic.
I'm still interested to see how they react to DUI.
Well, I mean, my gut reaction is that we are going to lose this legislative session, and the 5 nanograms somehow is going to pass. Maybe it won't be the per se, and they'll have to prove impairment. But I think that politicians are going to want to somehow balance to their balance this with their constituents.
Well, I mean,
yes, we have to abide by Amendment 20, but look, I'm also giving you this.
Yeah. Well, right now you've got an entire structure of state and city workers who rely on people being in trouble.
Right.
So if you take away the number one reason people have been in trouble for the last 40 years, what's that do to their... I mean, it's like an infrastructure change. All those people are now out of work because they've become obsolete. So all those probation officers who, I hate to say it, most of y'all don't deserve a paycheck.
So can I just interrupt for just a second? My friend Colin on Facebook just messaged me. Thank you, Colin, so much. Patricia Spotted Crow is a mere 26 years old.
Oh, is she?
She is a baby. So thank you, Colin, so much. I appreciate that. My phone is my only access to the outside world right now. Oh, thank you so much. Chris was trying to produce me too. But you're right. I mean, hopefully the idea behind legalization, or at least decriminalization, is that law enforcement and our court system can actually spend time on things that ought to be crimes. People hurting other people, people stealing from other people. I mean, where there are victims.
Look how easy they are on these embezzlers of these hedge funds and whatnot who steal your Bernie Madoffs, $50 billion.
I don't even know what $50 billion means.
Yeah, what does that look like?
Right. What does that
how
look
tall
like?
How tall is that stack of hundreds?
Right.
So
right.
It's
taller than the snow up on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, it's crazy. On a positive note, we've talked about medical marijuana being up for the legislative vote in the great state of Illinois. So the vote was supposed to happen last week. I'm getting my weeks confused. Somehow this whole shift from November to December has totally screwed me up.
Oh, it's December already?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
God.
the third day of December, or
Whoa.
less. I mean, see, I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
This is worse than daylight
It's cool.
savings time.
No, I remember to pay rent.
Right. Oh, I got to do that too.
I got that covered.
I got to do that. Illinois could be the latest state to legalize medical marijuana. In past attempts, this bill's passage was approved in the Illinois Senate, only to be stymied upon the arrival in the House. And in the state representative Lou Lang in Illinois, the longtime advocate for legalization, believes that he has gotten enough votes in both the Senate and the House for approval. However, the measure was scheduled this past week, but Lang decided to delay the vote in order to assure passage, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So he thinks he's garnered the votes, but he delays it anyway to make sure that he's garnered the votes. I mean, that's all this political back and forth that I don't necessarily understand.
Yeah,
I know. I don't get it either.
I've given up on most of the legislative process.
There's a whole
palm
to palm.
There's so much lot. I mean, obviously you have a week long debate between you've got every guy at CCA or whatever, the Corrections Corporation of America, is on the phone with this guy like, do not pass this and we'll promise you this and that. And that's how the lobby works.
That's right.
And if it requires time, I mean, they're throwing money towards this guy or they're influence peddlers. So
well, he says, he was quoted in the Chicago Tribune saying that there are, quote, a whole bunch of people who are wavering, end quote. Nevertheless, the Democratic representative has projected confidence in the bill this go-round. Many have projected Illinois to become the latest state to legalize marijuana in June. Chicago passed an ordinance allowing officers to issue tickets to individuals in possession of up to 15 grams of marijuana. The ordinance was backed by the mayor because it ensured officers would be able to remain on patrol in order to combat the city's surging murder rate. So makes a lot of sense. Why waste time arresting minor possession, people who aren't doing anything else, and actually, I don't know, pay attention to violent crime?
And those are all there's a lot of teenagers getting killed on the south side of Chicago.
Is it?
Yeah, there was 10 or 12 kids in one night got killed. They're all like the oldest one was in 22 or something.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Well, that's what our culture has bred, that kind of behavior. You know, you watch pop TV and that's what's glamorized.
We're going to talk about pop TV in a little bit. So the rest of Illinois, although far away from marijuana being legalized for recreational use, proponents of full legalization hope that Lang's bill could be a springboard toward that goal. The results, they argue, would reduce gang activity and black market values of the drugs. Proponents also argue that not only would legalization detach gangs from their main source of income, but it would also lead to an increase in revenue in the state with the fifth highest debt in the country. Opponents, however, argue that legalizing what is considered a gateway drug, which we don't even need to talk about that anymore, would lead to an increase in violence and crime proportionate to both the amount of new users and the stronger caliber of drugs consumed. Opponents also believe that legalization would serve as a slippery slope for the moral fiber of this country. Actually, I got to stop. You know, I mean, we have got to quit with this gateway drug thing. We're going to talk about another article later on. How many times have I said the real gateway drug is breast milk? When 90% of those who have tried breast milk go on to try harder drugs. I mean,
they're just looking for that endorphins.
They're looking for something. I mean, we can say anything. We can say people who are right-handed are more likely to, you know, do one thing or the other. I mean,
they sure are, because there's more of them.
Right. The correlation is just outdated, antiquated, and ridiculous. And it's the fact that people have to go back to that argument that makes no sense anymore is just a bummer. I'm done with that.
People die on Oxycontin every day.
Every day.
And it is still farmed out by a shovel load to everybody.
Pill labs in Florida.
Ha ha, good old Florida.
Good old Florida. We're going to take a break because that's what we do here. You've been listening to iCannabis Radio. We have a new sponsor this week. Our sponsor is Cuffle Collimore & Company. Cuffle Collimore & Company is able to provide commercial general liability and property insurance to dispensaries and growers. Commercial general liability insurance provides up to $1 million protection if you are sued because someone claims to have been injured on your premises from a slip and fall or because they claim the product they purchased from you caused them harm. If the edibles made them sick, clients can sue, just like a restaurant patron can sue the restaurant if they get food poisoning while dining. Product liability is the most likely cause of a lawsuit against a dispensary. Property insurance covers direct physical loss to the business personal property unless the loss is limited or excluded. Direct physical loss used to be called all risk coverage. Insurance companies consider business personal property to include contents such as furniture, etc. Anything in the dispensary or the grow site you paid for would have to buy again if it were damaged or destroyed. The value of the business personal property should be the cost to replace that new property. Certain perils are not covered. Loss of business income can be included under the property policy. This covers loss of net profits and continuing expenses if the dispensary cannot open due to insured loss. Call Cuffle Collimore & Company for more information or obtain a quote at 877-335-1234. That's 877-335-1234. If you are into technology, go ahead and email rtc@iwic.net. That's rtc@iwic.net. We'll be right back.
Are you a medical marijuana patient or interested in finding out how to become one? Contact Mile High Wellness, where your care is our concern. Conveniently located on Hamden and Tamarack in the Whole Foods parking lot behind Proof of the Pudding, Mile High Wellness offers a wide variety of edibles, hashes, and some of Colorado's top strains. Mile High Wellness, where your care is our concern. 3525 South Tamarack, Suite 110, on the corner of Hamden and Tamarack. 720-382-8516. Mile High Wellness, where your care is our concern.
I'm Gary Johnson, and you're listening to iCannabis Radio, and I want to say, talk it up, Colorado.
Hi, welcome back. My friend Colin is back at it again, and he seems to agree with me. The principal protein in milk is casein. It is, in fact, addictive for sure. It mimics opiates. It's referred to as an opioid peptide. Maybe the Mad Hatter guy. Yeah, he agrees. Thank you, Colin.
With what?
That breast milk is the gateway drug.
There
Gateway
it is.
drug. So wanted to talk a little bit about.
That's why you have to wean off of it.
Want to talk a little bit about kids? Can we talk a little bit about kids? I like to talk about kids.
I don't know.
So I've got a couple interesting things. Last year on 420 at CU, it was odd and awkward.
To have Wyclef Jean have to do a show that's like cannot say anything about pot.
Right?
Wow.
I mean, it was just...
yeah, that was a sad...
It was just awkward. It was just awkward. And so CU has decided that, University of Colorado has decided that it's... as it tries to find ways to end the annual and unsanctioned smoke out on campus, it's turned to other universities that are also plagued with large gatherings on 420. Right? At the University of California, Santa Cruz, I can't even say that without laughing. I mean, if you wonder what other college campuses could they be looking to advice from, the first thing that should come to your mind is the University of California, Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
The campus officials banned students in the dorms from housing overnight guests during the week of 420, a tactic to keep outside revelers from participating in a smokeout. In past years, 7,000 people have flocked to a campus meadow to smoke pot on 420. Officials at UC Santa Cruz have also closed off campus roads, set up a tow-away zones, and ticketed cars that near the area where the unsanctioned event happens. They've also called for backup police enforcement from other UC campuses. How much is that costing? Just if we're talking about money tonight. But CU Boulder's event is unique. It's the largest gathering according to Gene Kreider, publisher of the Princeton Review, the college guidebook that has consistently crowned CU Boulder as one of its most pot-friendly schools. Brunson Hilliard, CU Boulder's spokesperson, said that the proliferation of medical marijuana dispensaries in Boulder compounds the 420 problem for administrators and student leaders who are looking to end the annual event and has drawn more than 10,000 revelers to campus in past years. We've looked at what other schools are doing, but we keep coming back to ours is bigger than theirs, Hilliard says. The lessons are helpful on a certain level, but we have a unique culture here. I mean... They blame it on the dispensaries or what have you, or they contribute the cultural issue. I don't know that they're calling it a problem per se, but I'm reading into that. I mean, it's really not a dispensary issue. It's a person and their physician issue. If CU is concerned about the number of dispensaries aren't selling to people who haven't been to a doctor and have a red card and are able to purchase at that dispensary. So we can blame it on the dispensaries if you want to, but really, again, it's like your example. Doctors are choosing to recommend marijuana over lots of other medications. Of course, you don't have a gathering on a day of the year where everyone sits in the grassy meadow and pops a bunch of pills. I mean, that doesn't happen.
Let's chop up and snort all this Oxycontin, y'all.
Right. Exactly.
Who's got some clean needles? Yeah.
Other colleges across the country with smaller gatherings have had strict ticketing policies and sent emails to parents suggesting that they ask their children what they'll be doing on 420. On Thursday, CU's student government voted unanimously to pass a resolution that supports moving the annual 420 smoke out off campus, though student leaders do not outline a plan for ending the event. The CU administration has also not discussed details of how the school might try to squash the smoke out. We have looked at other schools, but our situation in Boulder is unique. Thus, we're having to be unique in our ideas, says Brooks Kanaski, the student government's vice president of external affairs. At the University of California, Santa Barbara's campus, officials don't take a hard stance against 420 smokeouts, which are more scattered throughout the campus. Like CU, the Santa Barbara campus has landed on the Princeton Review's Reefer Madness and Party School lists.
Woo!
So, I understand. I mean, I don't think that a college campus is the greatest place for a smokeout, but to me it's not about a smokeout. It's about, again, that whole personal freedoms thing. And if you look at what our history has been like, the time where people have really explored their rebellion, their times to look at what their belief systems really are. They've moved out of their family home. They're in an environment where they're being intellectually stimulated.
They came from somewhere ultra-conservative, somewhere ultra-liberal.
And maybe they did that. But they're given the opportunity to finally kind of make some decisions for themselves. And part of that might be the recognition recognition that what they've been told for years and years and years is untrue about marijuana, or it could just be, wow, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's not harmful.
Yeah, you try it and you'll get an entire different view of the devil weed. You're like, this is pretty angelic for devil weed.
In fact, we shouldn't call this devil weed anymore.
Yeah, this is angel dust.
Whoops!
Oh, no, stop. Let's not call it that.
That's something else also. So, CU, I'd be happy to consult if you want to call me up and find out what we should do. I'd love to help you out. So, Hilliard,
we should feed all the faculty a bunch of ganja food, so they just pass out that day and don't know what happened.
See, I don't think it's the faculty at all. I think the faculty are all for it. My guess is it's an administrative issue. I think that the faculty, I'd guess that the faculty has had some ganja food before.
I'm guessing they've had way more than that.
Right?
If you're a professor at CU, you're on the level.
You're on the level.
You might be over the level.
Along those lines, I have something interesting from the Loveland, Colorado Reporter Herald, which I don't know why, if you're naming your paper, why you can't be the Loveland Reporter or the Loveland Herald. Why you have to be the Reporter Herald. The only thing I can guess is that they used to have two papers, and now they have one paper, and they're the Reporter Herald.
Well, one guy reports it, and the other guy screams it from the rooftops.
That could be it. So, a young lady by the name of Hope Skeen wrote an article, Amendment 64 from a student's perspective. You ready for this? Both before and after voting this year, there's been an abundance of numbers flying around about how Amendment 64 will either help or hurt our state. Benefits range anywhere from the state receiving taxes that will help the schools to increased tourism that will boost the economy, and the opposing side has just as many arguments against it. But what could this mean for us as students? That's an excellent question. Hope, thank you for asking it. I think the most interesting argument in support of this amendment would have to be the increase in tourism. Colorado has always been known for its mountain skiing and natural beauty. Should legal marijuana be added to this list? Most people would like to be able to say that they take pride in their community, but I can't say I'm proud to be known as the pot state. The equation seems simple enough. She goes on to say, more products to tax means more income for the state, which means a more stimulated economy and more tax money to spread across the state. Another big selling point for this amendment is that the money from the taxes on marijuana will go to schools to help improve them, hire more teachers, and so forth. It actually doesn't go to hire more teachers. It goes to construction capital improvements, but that's okay, Hope. While we all would like to support our school systems, at the same time, the amendment has the potential to hurt our youth. So she goes on to say, in school we have been taught countless times what drugs do to our body. I'm going to repeat that. In school, we have been taught countless times what drugs do to our bodies. And while marijuana seems, quote, and she has it in quotes, harmless enough, end quote, it can lead to the usage of more serious drugs. Marijuana is known as a gateway drug, a drug that will get a user so hooked on the high that it will continue to need it. Pretty soon, marijuana doesn't cut it for them, and they move on to stronger, worse drugs such as heroin, opiates, and LSD. By passing Amendment 64, we've opened up access to marijuana for teens, similar to what we have seen with alcohol, and therefore opened up the potential for an increase in drug use among teens. And I'm so glad that Hope said that, because that's exactly what we need to help people understand is the opposite of what this amendment will do. First of all, we've already talked, we don't have to repeat ourselves about the gateway drug thing. If you would like to argue with me about how marijuana is a gateway drug, call my ass up. I will talk to you all day long. But, there is absolutely nothing that says that someone who smokes marijuana is ever going to use heroin. And
never used heroin.
Never used heroin ever. Yeah. And there's nothing to say that someone who used heroin has ever used marijuana.
There's Colfax, perfect example. I have crackheads walk in who are like, I don't smoke that stuff. I'm talking about pot. Like, it's like fucks them up way worse than smoking meth and crack. Yeah. And it's like, Jesus.
Well, it's just...
Go back to Iowa. You know,
I hope that what Hope is getting in school when she says that they've been taught about what drugs do to their bodies. I hope that she's gotten a fair and balanced education on what things like.
have you ever seen the people who deliver drug counseling? Have you ever listened to the drivel that comes out of their faces?
You know, you sell what you're sold, right? You
Yeah.
sell what you're sold, and so if
Well, they have a curriculum that's written by some total turkey, and that's the worst part, is that you've got policy writers who educate these people in these conferences. Oh, I go to a 3-day conference in Atlanta this weekend on dangerous drugs.
right?
And so you got some guy who works at a pharmaceutical company who comes in and lectures about the evils of this and how to get people off of it. They need to be on Prozac, and
Right.
it's funny how it works because
Well, and let me just say again, as a person, a licensed clinical social worker with a concentration in addiction studies. I mean, you can be addicted to a whole bunch of things, and the definition is really easy. Doing this, doing the same thing despite negative consequences, and that can be anything. That can be work. That can be a whole bunch of things. It could certainly be marijuana, sure, but it could be a whole bunch of things, and so. And there's a whole belief in the addictive personality, and there is a whole biological component and all those kinds of things. And so there are people who absolutely who are more susceptible to addiction than others. Not just about marijuana, and that does not mean that they're going to go on to use
they're going to go huff.
harder drugs.
Yeah, some of those people, they're going to not have any. They're going to be huffing glue and paint and everything else just to not be sober.
Right, exactly.
It's escapism.
It's escapism. So my friend Hope goes on to say that Amendment 64 has forced most people to take a stance. Either they're completely for it or against it. From a student's perspective, it has good and bad points. It would be okay if everything goes as planned, from regulation to the taxes going to schools. But our world isn't perfect, and there are a lot of things that could go wrong with this amendment down the road. Even though I'm not a fan of it passing, I'm interested to see what happens with Amendment 64 in the near future. And I think we all are, Hope. I just, I was hoping that our students were more knowledgeable than when DARE was in the school system and preaching. Well, now it's for cigarettes primarily. I mean, DARE they've taken marijuana out of their curriculum because people didn't buy it. They didn't buy it, and it's very tobacco based now. My son won't be going to DARE programs. Just want to say that right now. He will be opting out. That's right. We got to take a break. When Chris starts to give me the evil eye, it freaks me out because usually he just looks at me so nice and smiles and sometimes blows me kisses, but I got the evil eye. We are big fans of our friends at Noto Urban Garden Supply, located at 1330 27th Street in Denver,
y'all.
Colorado, about 4.5 blocks northeast of Coors Field. They are a fantastic downtown hydro store. You can get all of your supplies there as well as your questions answered, especially with the passage of Amendment 64. If you're interested in learning how to grow 6 plants, 3 in flower and 3 in veg, and maybe you don't even know what that means, go visit Noto Urban Garden Supply or check them out on the web at nodourbangardensupply.com.
Very knowledgeable staff.
They're a very knowledgeable staff, thank you. And they're open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Always someone there. They have a great inventory, so you can. They're on Monday through Saturday. If I said Sunday, I lied. Monday through Saturday. Thank
Pretty
you.
sure I walked over there the other day to say hi, and they was not
They
open.
was closed.
They was closed.
They take Sundays off. But go visit them. Let them know that you heard about them on iCannabis Radio, and they will treat you beautifully. Also like to send you up the opposite direction. If you're going to the mountains this weekend, be sure to go to Frisco, Colorado and visit Medical Marijuana of the Rockies, mmrockies.com, your mountain source for meds. They have some of the best immature plants in the state. If you check out their website, they have all of their plant selection as well as their flower selection as well. Make sure you tell Jerry and Aaron that you heard about them on iCannabis Radio. They're a fantastic dispensary. Don't miss it. And Gosh, are we back? Was that it? We'll be right back.
The law offices of Edson, Maton, and Matz provide criminal defense, medical marijuana defense, and advice about setting up and running medical marijuana centers, optional premises cultivation operations, and infused product manufacturing businesses throughout Colorado. With offices in Denver and Aspen, we can offer assistance throughout the entire state of Colorado. Give us a call at 303-831-8188. That's 303-831-8188. Or visit us online at warrenedson.com.
You're listening to Georgia Edson on iCannabisRadio.com.
You're going to have to change chairs.
I just have to move his little legs out of my... Hi, we're back. If you were wondering what I was about to say, I have a small dog sitting behind me.
What kind of dog?
It's a dachshund named Diesel, Chris. Diesel is here all the time and usually doesn't sit quite with his nails on my lower back. But today that's what he's doing, which is fine because, no, I'd rather have him here. Let's leave him here. He's fun. He's sleeping. He's sleeping. But I was about to move him when you so rudely interrupted me by paying attention. So those of you that know me know that I like television. I really do. And I actually watch what some people might say is really bad television, but I'm okay with it.
It's called programming.
It is. It is. I actually, you know what? I mean, I have an MSW for a reason. I was a sociology major for a reason. People fascinate me. That's why I like some reality shows. It's why I watch them because people are so interesting. No, I don't watch the dating ones or the singing ones or any of those ones.
We watch Gold Rush.
I do like Doomsday Preppers. You guys know that's my favorite show. That is funny. That is really funny. Anyway, my other guilty pleasure is watching an NBC show called Parenthood. And for those of you that have seen it, this is the fourth season. It's an hour-long show. I forget when it's on because I TiVo everything. But episode 8 this year is called Bad Seeds and Killer Weed. And it is the picture that you're seeing right now is Peter Krause, who plays the protagonist, Adam Braverman, and his wife, played by Monica Potter, is Christina Braverman. During October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. This episode, she is going through her first chemo treatment, and she gets wildly sick. They have 3 children. Their middle child has Asperger's and is pretty. It's a great show. Is pretty unaware of what exactly is going on with his mom from an emotional standpoint. From an intellectual standpoint, he understands his mom has cancer, but he doesn't have the capacity to have a lot of feelings around it. She's an unbelievably feeling parent who takes care of everything and somehow thought that she would make it through chemotherapy without getting sick. In this particular episode, she has her little boy, Max's friend, is spending the night, and he's a little boy in a wheelchair. And it's a pretty chaotic environment. They also have a baby, and again, she's just a few days out after her first chemo treatment. She's doing fine, and then all of a sudden, she gets violently ill, and there's a pretty tough scene where she is running up the stairs, and you can tell she's going to get sick, and she doesn't even make it, and she throws up all over the stairs, and her son with Asperger's wants very desperately to talk to her, and he walks in and she's laying on the bathroom floor and she's just sick and sweating, and her husband Adam asks her, is there anything that she can do, and she just said her body hurts. And you see a scene where she's laying in bed and he's looking at he's got a prescription pill vial in his hand, and he said, according to this, you can have 2 more pills, and she says, it's not helping, everything hurts, and she just looks awful. And all of a sudden, and he just looks desperate to help her. And all of a sudden, the light bulb goes off, and you see him pack the kids up, and they take a walk, and they go to his younger brother Crosby's house, who's played by Dax Shepard. And Crosby's having this big dinner party, and they walk into the house, small dog, boy with Asperger's, kid in a wheelchair, and the dinner party kind of comes to a halt, and Adam asks his brother, can we go upstairs? You've got to have something in your sock drawer. And he warns Adam when he finds it. This isn't the ditchweed that we smoked in high school. This is serious. And the next scene where you see Christina and Adam is the scene of the picture that that you see on the screen right now. You know, she's smoking, and Adam asks her if she's feeling better, and she said, yeah, you know, I'm feeling a little bit better. And he's like, can I get you anything? Can I get you some food? Can I get you some water? And she puts out the joint and lays back and falls asleep, and it's just beautiful. And the last scene with them in the show is, you know, they're laying in bed, and she's saying that she feels better, that she really thought that she could get through chemo without being sick, that she was Wonder Woman, but she's going to need more weed because it helps. and I just thought it was beautiful. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. Thank you, NBC, for getting it, for understanding, for putting that on TV. This is not a show about marijuana. This is not a show geared towards people who are traditionally marijuana smokers. This is just a show about people, and this is what people do. And I just loved that it was told in such a great, simple, and real manner, and I applaud the show. Please check it out. I tried to find the episode online. I'm guessing it'll be online pretty soon. Again, episode 8 of season 4, called Bad Seeds and Killer Weed. Thank you to NBC. You guys rocked it out. I will be a fan forever.
Yep. I have a complaint about a show
Yes,
recently.
you do.
I've been watching Sons of Anarchy for a while, and they completely threw the weed issue under the bus by having Katie Seagal wreck her car with children in it after smoking pot. And that, oh yeah, she like wrecks the car, both kids get hurt in the car, you know, it was completely, you know, and the whole thing was, yeah, I was getting high and I just got tired, and, you know,
Boo. Boo. Boo.
For a show that glorifies
Drugs.
Everything.
Yes.
Yeah, you got prostitution. Yeah, that I'm not gonna give up on the show just because it's so freaking over the top.
Right?
Like, it blows my mind every time I watch. I'm just like, really? They wrote that in there? That is just twisted.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like a train wreck. You got to watch it.
Part of me hopes that they were just trying to get the point across that people do dumb things, but it could have been something else. I mean, right now we're fighting so hard to get people to understand that this is a pretty harmless plant.
Yeah.
And then to have, I mean, the show is wildly popular.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sons of Anarchy is not just a cult classic in a certain demographic. It crosses all demographics.
Right. But the thing is that you have so many people glued to their television in the Midwest. I'll go watch my show, you know. And they've developed opinions. That's the problem, is that you've got it's a propaganda tool, you know. It's the idiot box for real.
Right.
It's called programming for a reason.
Right. That's right. So. Yeah, you know, I mean, that disappoints me too. I in all honesty, haven't gotten through season 1 yet, so I don't want to know anything that's happening specifically. I mean, the fact that Jackson has 2 kids when season 1 he just has his first kid is...
yeah. It's way beyond all that. Ooh. It's so screwed up now. Like, it's
so screwed up.
I mean, it's tripped out. I don't even know where to go.
It's tripped out. So, you know, it is Glass Monday.
And we'll talk about it a little bit.
And you've got a little bit of glass in there, so...
I brought some of Joel's stuff. Joel Halen.
We love Joel Halen.
Everybody loves Joel Halen.
Everybody loves Joel Halen.
But these are some minis that we've got at the store right now. Everything at the store's on sale, too. If you want to come in and holler at us, we are hooking it up. But these right here are some of the rodeos, I guess is what they're calling them. Fixed 4-slit gadget. They actually are attached at the bottom of it.
Wow.
So they're pretty cool. We got them in sidecar and the traditional Sherlock style. And then
I like the Sherlock a lot.
Yeah, it's really nice traditional. Then we've got the new sidecar 75 cam bub, which he just started making these. This is a new item.
It's a bub.
It's a big,
It's a
chunky
pretty bub.
But that's the old traditional patented. Nah, not patented. It's,
But it sounds good.
Yeah.
Joel's like, oh man, I should patent it.
Yeah. He's got too much going on to go chase patent lawyers.
Right.
And this might be obsolete in a year. We might have some kind of new wave,
Newfangled something.
word. You know it. So.
This dog is driving me. I love him. Don't take him from me. Sorry.
Yep. It's not the back scratching you wanted, right?
Well, if it was a little higher, it'd be great. So do both of those come in more than those two colors? I can hardly see.
Yeah.
What colors do they come in? Pink?
Unfortunately, our light in here is not as good. We don't have a pink one right now.
Joel!
Yeah, well, we had the one pink one that Camille wanted and that she never came and got. Some other lucky girl
Smart
got
girls.
that.
Yeah. Boys can smoke out of pink, too. I just want to say that. Yeah. Yeah. Sam's down with pink.
Yep.
No, she didn't. She wanted it, but she didn't get it. So can I see the sidecar?
Yeah. The big one?
Yes, please.
Yeah. I ain't sitting that to G.
I know. What I love about these pieces is that they are so clean. Like, this is just, oh my gosh, and it weighs a ton. Like,
Yep.
this.
That's 75 by 5 tubing with that fat rolled lip at the bottom. It's real thick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's not falling off anything anytime soon. And then, what do you call this on the...
The shower head.
Yeah, the shower head is... I mean, first of all, I need to see that being blown because I can't even begin to imagine. It is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
We could take a
Road trip?
road trip up to the Halen lab.
I'd love to. I would
We
love
could go
to.
see Big Z stuff too. Big Z works. He's got a studio he just built right across from Joel's, and those guys
Isn't that cool?
do.
It's like marbled. I mean, the color, I don't know what color this green is, but it's like marbled. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so beautiful.
Yeah, that's actually what they call that is coil potted.
Coil potted?
Yeah, so they'll take and they'll twist the color as it's going, and it kind of gives it that little ripple effect.
Gotcha, yeah.
Because it's actually folding on top of itself over and over. Yeah.
We're talking about it and you guys can't see it. It's lovely. I mean, you can see, I don't know how well we can see right there, but it's not just green. I mean, it's this.
It's the sparkly. Is that one green or blue?
This one
Is
looks
that an
green to
obtainium?
me.
The light in here is so.
It's so
blue.
hard. I know.
It's not.
You're right. I mean, it does. I don't know. I would have called it green, but now that you say blue, it's looking very
I think
blue.
it's an obtainium. But yeah, everything in here is fluorescent, so it's hard to tell what color anything is.
Oh, it's just so pretty.
It's definitely not sunlight.
No, I love it. What do you call this again?
That's a dome.
No.
The horn?
Yeah,
A
just
horn?
a horn. I call it a handle, but
There
I
you
know
go.
it's not what it is.
It can be a handle.
On this, it is.
It works as a handle.
It works as a handle. Well, it's just nice. I mean, it's such a solid piece that you really can pull the dome up with the handle.
Yeah, that's
Glass on glass.
Yep, it's multifunction.
Yes, beautiful. And then Joel's.
That's the new That's one of the new labels. Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yep.
Can you see that? Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, he's cutting edge.
What is this retail for?
$289, but it's
$280.
25% off right now.
Oh, it's a deal. That's
So,
beautiful.
Like low 200s.
Ow.
And
It's so heavy it hurt my arm.
dang.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
We'll just have to remember not to let you hold that one again.
I'm not supposed to hold the glass. Woo!
Here you-
Woo! Sorry.
Whoa.
What else you got in there?
It's not a dachshund.
I got a dachshund over here.
Not too much, just the roadies, and I just dropped a tie nail in just to kind of show off.
Nice.
Oops. So.
These are really pretty. These are at both stores?
Actually, we've only got a couple. We only had 2 of the sidecars because he only just recently started those.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got a flower sidecar and that one at the Walnut store still. And then I've got a couple of other 75 can bubs at the at the other store. We've got 60 millimeter sidecar and whatnot bubs, which are instead of that 75, they'll be necked down to 60 mil. Whoa!
I thought it was going to whistle.
It doesn't.
No. No. Do we need to take a quick break? All right. We'll be right back with more glass from Mad Hatter Glass Shop. You listen to iCannabis Radio. I'm Georgia.
Let's face it, rules and regulations are complicated, especially in the field of medical marijuana. Let Medical Marijuana 101 help you get through the compliance process. We can also explain to you your employment requirements, your employees, and your business. But our work doesn't stop there. Our experience in cultivation ranges from the design of grow rooms to the diagnosis and resolution of grow problems. Visit us at www.medicalmarijuana101.com or call 303-388-7706. That's 303-388-7706. Are you a runner? Are you a runner who supports marijuana legalization? Run on Grass is a group of athletes actively seeking to change our marijuana laws. We speak the truth about cannabis, bringing the message through our feet to new ears. Check out runongrass.com to find out more about us, our events, and how to join up or how to sponsor a runner. If you're in the Denver area, please join us for runs or start a group in your area. Running not your thing? Any sport can do it. On Grass. runongrass.com.
I'm Gary Johnson, and you're listening to iCannabis Radio, and I want to say, talk it up, Colorado.
Welcome back. We are playing with glass with Jonanoymous. Oh, yeah. See, these are just, I mean, I love Glass Monday. I really do. Because I get to feel up all the glass that I never
use.
that I never use and I never get to, like play with in the store or whatever. I mean, these are just so amazing. So what does the smaller one retail for?
They're like $140, something like that.
$149.99, but everything is on sale.
Yep, you come in and talk a bunch to us.
It's beautiful. I mean, it's just...
Yeah, you come in and inflate our egos, we'll give you a good deal.
Can you see this?
Yeah, that's the red Elvis color.
I know, it's so nice. Again, they're all so clean looking, but the small details are just amazing.
Yep, that's
crack, boom, boom. Just kidding.
Yeah, don't break.
I won't break any of these. I mean, and actually, you know what? I mean, even for me, I mean, it would be a chore to break something this solid.
Yep. But that's what you have a Mastiff for.
Right. Good points. I couldn't break it, but my girl Rosie could. Well, that's wonderful. So, holiday hours at Mad Hatter is going to be the same. Are you guys open on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve days?
I think we'll definitely be open Christmas Eve. Probably closing Christmas Day. I got my folks in town, and I don't need...
That's nice.
Yeah, I need to take the day off.
That's nice. So again, tell everybody where you guys can be reached.
We can be reached at the Lakewood store, 303-953-7015. Address there is 6091 West Colfax. That's in Lakewood. And the downtown locations next to MMD in the beautiful new... we have an awesome new staircase, too. You guys should come try it out. And if you're a skateboarder, please don't tear up our concrete yet.
Well, if you're a skateboarder, I mean, it's going to be cool.
It's going to be rad. Just wait till the rails are up.
And please don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, and don't break your neck on our property. Actually, it's city property. Go ahead and break your neck.
No, we don't want you to do that. It looks so much like there's no access to the store. Just be patient. Drive around the block. There's parking. It's not a big deal. But both stores are open while they pour concrete in front of the stores to build a sidewalk.
It's really nice.
It's going to be amazing. Really nice. It's going to be amazing. You know, these old warehouse districts had no need for sidewalks because who was walking?
There used to be train tracks right there.
Yeah, and they've dug up all of these railroad ties, and the road used to be brick, and so they've dug up. I'm going to actually take some of those bricks because they're so neat. These real stamped bricks. They're beautiful.
Yeah, turn of the century.
But we are open on Walnut Street.
Yes, we are.
MMD of Colorado is going to be open Christmas Day from 10 to 2.
Y'all are hardcore.
We are hardcore. Our
patients. Who paper rock scissored for that one?
Everyone wanted to. We're open for 4 hours. patients are excited that we're open.
Yeah.
People are excited. Yeah, we were open Thanksgiving Day, and it was so great to see everyone come to MMD of Colorado on Thanksgiving Day. It was wonderful. Christmas Day is going to be great.
It's beginning to look a lot like we're not going to run out.
Right? Very exciting. We got some exciting things going on at iCannabis Radio.
That's good.
Yeah, we always do. It's the first week of the month. So, Sexpot Radio tomorrow night from 8 to 10 with our friend Jenny Cush.
Yep, I had to cover for her today, so she better be extra spry tomorrow.
I know. I hope you're feeling better, Jenny. So, Wednesday, IDAB Radio from 7 to 9, right, guys? Yes, their monthly slot. Yeah, it's going to be wonderful. Everyone gets so excited. You know, they went from doing a weekly show to doing a monthly show, and the enthusiasm and excitement for people getting excited about the show and for the guys doing the show has not changed one bit. Everyone's super excited.
That's good.
So learn everything. Come listen. It's fun. It's culture. It's craziness. At IDAB Radio from 7 to 9 on the first Wednesday of the month, which is this Wednesday.
Yay.
Thursday from 4 to 5, the Hemp Connoisseur Magazine does their weekly show. They are so fantastic. Look for a brand new ad in the upcoming issue from MMD of Colorado. It's going to be sweet.
Who does the show?
They rotate. They
Nice.
rotate, but Dave does it. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. They're so great. They're so great. And of course, that night, Stickman's and Holly G will be on with Overgrow the Radio.
Oh, Holly G.
Have I mentioned, speaking of Holly G, how thrilled I am to have Holly G back on the air? I could not be happier. This girl needs to be talking about marijuana to the people.
Do you know I used to live in her old house?
You did? I thought you were going to tell me you dated her.
No.
No.
That was she moved way far away. So I
used
didn't.
to-
I never got up the guts.
Yeah, I never got that. She is. I'm such a fan. I am such a fan of Holly G.
Yeah, she's a trip.
And you know, for those of you that don't know that she did a show forever ago, if you have listened to her on Overgrow the Radio, she's only been doing it for a little while now with Stickman. You know, she's the consummate professional, but she is such an activist and such a heart, and everything she does for the right reasons, and I love that about Holly G. And she's a fantastic co-host with Stickman. I couldn't be more thrilled.
Yeah, they do a good job.
Yeah. Next week on Monday, doesn't it feel like the weekend just extends that much longer since we have this fun show on Monday night? Doesn't it feel like the weekend is now Saturday, Sunday, Monday? Yes, it does.
I'm going to quote Les Claypool. Weekends don't mean so much when you're unemployed, except for you get to work out and hang out with your working friends. Yeah, weekends don't mean so much when you work 7 days a week.
Right? Working is fun when you get to work at iCannabis Radio.
There you go.
So next week is our news from around the country. So don't miss it. And we want to thank our sponsors for sure. Especially our brand new sponsor, Cuffle Collimore and Company. If you are a business owner and you are wondering if you can get crop insurance and what your insurance should look like, you need to call Cuffle Collimore and get a quote. You can also email him at rtc@iwic.net. Please, please, please say you heard his ad on iCannabis Radio because we want him to continue to advertise. Also thank Mile High Wellness, Noda Urban Garden Supply, Edson Maton and Mats, Medical Marijuana of the Rockies, Medical Marijuana 101, Run on Grass, Mad Hatter Smoke Shop, and MMD of Colorado, of course. And it's Monday night on iCannabis Radio, and I hope you had a great time. Please don't hesitate to contact us if you are interested in asking any questions or have some guest ideas or want to advertise or any of those kinds of things. You can get on the website, the site that you're on right now, and send us a message, or you can always email me directly at Georgia at Medical Marijuana 101. Talk to you soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.